Do you see a future where the semi-platform is converted into an RV? I would love a self-driving RV. I'd be shocked if they don't do that. I think that, long term, the fascinating thing about autonomous, and I've talked about this many times, is like autonomy allows you to have movable rooms. So like if you're at a point where the car drives itself fully, the inside of the vehicle becomes whatever you want it to be. And then the market that will appear is to customize the needs inside of that box to fit whatever different things people are looking for. I've talked about there will be boxes with the, when I say box, I mean this like self-driving car, self-driving transportation unit. There'll be optimization for working, optimization for sleeping, optimization for sightseeing, optimization for RVing, for partying, for whatever. The interior of it becomes the selling point, like how it's configured. And so the semi-platform could very easily be done with RVs. We're probably, the one thing that Tesla's going to have to be very careful with is like a semi is a very large vehicle. It's a very, very big vehicle. And so, you need to ask yourself is like, okay, what's the likelihood that could, if that's in an accident, it's going to cause chaos? It's going to be like large. So the safety threshold for a fully safe semi is significantly bigger than like a Cybercab or like even a Model Y, because it's so big, it could cause so much destruction. So I'm completely okay with Tesla taking until 2040 to solve for self-driving semis, because one semi going like hitting somebody, one semi failing could mean many people die, not just like the person potentially in a self-driving car. A semi hauling 80,000 pounds or whatever the max weight limit is. Imagine that thing just ramming through traffic backup on an interstate. It's bad, very, very, very bad. So they need to be careful. Waymos get burnt to the ground. Yeah, that was crazy. I think that was less. I don't think that was a self-driving thing per se. I think that was just people were just losing their minds, unfortunately. Sad. Robotaxis can run away. Yeah. We talked about that, Steven. Because it allows removable controls. Exactly. Yeah. The steer-by-wire. Exactly. Yep. Unboxed semi, configurable how you want it, but it has to compete with unboxed Robo-van. Yeah, I mean, Robo-van is going to have its, like, the Robo-van use case is probably better for the RV concept. The baby, I mean, the semi is just a bigger box. It's just a bigger Robo-van. The Robo-van is like a kind of like a smallish. No, I mean the Robo-van is going to be pretty big. Depends. Like the semi with a big thing behind it that acts as an RV. Yeah, you could have a super-sized RV, but I think the market for that's going to be much smaller than like a Robo-van form factor that's going to look like an RV. I think the Robo-van is probably better suited for the RV life. But again, the beauty here is that Tesla's going to be able to have multiple variations of these form factors, and then how the way they fill it, if they decide to fill it, will dictate the use case. But my guess is long term, Tesla will actually do a airline model where they'll sell the shell. So they'll sell Robo-van empty. It will drive itself. It will have everything it needs to drive itself. But a fleet provider, let's say, I don't know, Farzad's van exploration tours. I don't freaking know. I can go in and I can customize the interior of that Robo-van for my own use case. And then I can add that to the Tesla network. And that becomes, hey, if you want this type of experience in the Robo-van, use mine. And so like Robotaxi, the Robotaxi app becomes like an airport. Think of Robotaxi app as an airport. And then in the app, you'll have different airlines, quote unquote, or fleet providers, where you'll have specific use cases that you'll use for your things. Like, hey, I just want to get downtown as quick as possible, as cheap as possible. Okay, hello, Cybercab. Oh, I actually want to go to the lake and I want to be able to bring 10 friends. Okay, get the Robo-van. And I actually want to be able to like party in there and have a mini fridge and I don't know, freaking whatever, a disco ball on the roof, on the ceiling. Okay, use Farzad's super crazy tours, whatever. I think over time that's what it's going to look like. I don't think Tesla's going to want to take on the work to customize the interior for all these vehicles. I think they're going to outsource that to fleets, and then the fleets will add their customized cars to the network, and then when somebody books through the network, which is the only place to find that solution, they obviously get paid, the fleet provider gets paid, and then Tesla takes a cut. That's how I think it's going to work long term. It's going to take years to get there, but I think inevitably that's where it's going to end up. Think about the market that creates. It's crazy. Take a sip here. If I had the funds, I'd start a company that builds RVs on the Semi platform. Yeah, I wouldn't blame you. Yeah, just the market of that. Just keep in mind the market of that will be limited at first because that Semi, it's going to take a minute to fill it up with charging because we don't have the infrastructure yet to get this thing to be like, RVs go very long distances in very remote locations, unless you can figure out a way to do like solar charging, in a very smart way. But it's going to take a minute to get there, I think. But obviously, if you think there's opportunity there, go for it. FSD has felt solved on highways for quite a while now, years in my opinion. Do you agree? Yeah, I agree. If so, couldn't there be some kind of hybrid robotaxi FSD service from Dallas to Houston where the rider can sleep or otherwise goof off on the highway, then manually drive or supervise the last few miles at a drop-off lot? Seems like it would be a way better experience and potentially cheaper than short distance plane flights. I mean, yeah, I 100% agree. I think the sort of like these like Boston to New York, Austin to Dallas, Houston to Dallas, Orlando to Miami, I can go down the list, like even Raleigh to Atlanta, Nashville to Atlanta, SF to LA, right? Go down the list. Freaking Portland to Seattle, Portland to SF. All these like connections become a lot more prevalent because of exactly what you described, because the plane, the amount of time it's going to take you to drive to the place, it's going to be less than driving to the airport, parking the car, going to the airport, going through security, waiting for the plane, going on the plane takes off, the plane lands, you deplane, you go get a car, then you drive. Okay? That whole thing is going to take longer than you just driving to the place. But the way that's going to work, I don't think it's going to be like, I think what's going to happen is people are just going to buy the Tesla. They're just going to buy the Model Y and be like, I can just do this now. It's going to just drive me from here to there. And you'll have this car that will just drive you places. People do that already, technically. Like we drive a lot more because of FSD, because driving is a piece of cake because we don't have to do it. Still have to pay attention. But once you don't have to pay attention anymore, I honestly think I would be shocked if unsupervised isn't a huge catalyst for Tesla vehicles. Honestly, I really would be. I would be shocked. Oh, we can do emojis now. Look, 2 thumbs up. Yeah, for sure. Alex K. Edison Motors is using the American Truck Simulator game to design, configure their trucks. Tesla likes to keep their number of SKU down, but it would be cool if Tesla had configurable semi-cyber Robo-van. I think they'll have it configurable, but I really do think that market will be third party. I don't think Tesla wants to take on that complexity. I think they just want to be focused on like pushing as much metal out of the factory as fast as possible without worrying about the complexity that goes inside of that box, if that makes any sense. Tony the Vera. Robo-van party buses operating lift line type of routes will completely change the way people commute to sporting events, conventions, and other large gatherings. Imagine a self-driving bar that drives around the city exactly to picking up all the time, all the name your team fans on the way to the arena. It's going to be really cheap, really convenient, insanely fun. 100% agreed. 100% agreed. Self-driving technology at scale is going to massively lower the friction for people to want to leave their house, which is going to create an explosion of things to do outside of your house. Couldn't agree more. And honestly, that's a huge plus for society. Honestly, that's a huge, like literally, I've used this example before. You know, there is let's say you live in Dallas. Actually, no, I hate the Cowboys. And I was going to use the Eagles, but I hate them even more somehow. Whatever. Let's use Austin. Like, you're in Austin. You're an Austin FC fan. The professional soccer team here. For you to go to the soccer stadium, let's say you live in the outskirts of Austin. You're going to have to drive, park, go have fun. You're probably not going to want to drink as much as perhaps you wanted to, or party as much as you wanted to. Excuse me for hitting the mic. And then, once the game's over, you got to get back in your car. You got to wait in traffic for a while. Then you get home, and then you're like dog tired, potentially. With this stuff, it's like you literally just hail it. You can do whatever you want. It will drop you off right at the front. You don't have to pay attention. The car's all yours. You can blast music if you want. You could be in there with your friends. Nobody has to drive. You get out. You go have fun. And then when you're done, you get back in the car. You maybe take a nap and you go home. You can do whatever you want. You can be as drunk as you want. You can be under the influences you want with whatever, your choice of whatever is. It just massively removes the friction to make that happen. I couldn't agree more. Matt, I can't drive. I'm in a wheelchair. I can't use pedals. I can use a controller. Just saying. That opening is perfect for a disabled man. Why do you steer by wire if to not allow variation in the control mechanism? You can use the infotainment screen to drive, or your phone, not to actually steer and brake, but to make suggestions to the FSD system that is mostly driving. 100%. I mean, I think long term, this is going to be the great thing about this technology. Is that it's going to allow people that can't use traditional controls to be able to operate the vehicle. Right now, like for somebody like yourself in a wheelchair, you have to get the car retrofitted or customized to be able to, for you to be able to drive it, let's say controls. And this is a game-changing type of product for people in your situation that can just talk to the car, and the car can just do whatever you want them to do. Or the car will just drive for you. Like, you don't even have to talk to the car. We'll just do everything on your behalf anyway, because it's smart enough to know how to navigate around the world, right? Yeah, 100%. I think that, it just becomes because the market of, you think about like the percentage of cars that are out there right now where, let's say, people with disabilities are driving right now, it's relatively like extremely small. But how many people are disabled or have disabilities that can't drive, that can't even, let's say, have the access to transportation? That's the market that becomes unbelievably open now with Tesla, and elder folks who can no longer drive, right? So it's awesome. It is an awesome technology.